Have you ever wondered who actually wrote the playbook for modern finance? I mean, way before there were central banks or giant global corporations. Turns out it was just a handful of men, titans of industry, whose empires literally built the financial world we live in today. So who were they? We're talking about three legendary dynasties: the Morgans, the Rockefellers, and the Rothschilds. And look, these families didn't just get rich. No, they were the architects. They designed the very systems of capital, industry, and global banking that still shape our economy.
All right, let's kick things off with JP Morgan. You've got to understand, this guy wasn't just a banker. He was more like the master architect for all of American industry. His goal, it wasn't just to play the game, he wanted to own the game, to organize it, control it, and streamline it under his command.
So how did he do it? Well, he had this signature move, and trust me, it was pretty ruthless. It even got its own name: morganization. He'd find a chaotic industry, like railroads, with all these small, messy companies fighting each other, and he'd just scoop them all up, merge them, consolidate them, and bam, one massive, super efficient giant. It was the blueprint for every mega merger you see today.
His power was just off the charts. He didn't just forge giants like US Steel. He was basically America's central bank before the Fed was even a thing. Get this, during the Panic of 1907, the whole economy is about to collapse. What does Morgan do? He summons the top bankers to his library, literally locks the doors, and orchestrates a private bailout that saves the entire financial system. He was the lender of last resort.
But here's a surprising little detail about the man himself. He was plagued by health issues his entire life. So his work style was completely unconventional. He didn't do the marathon grind. For him, it was all about intense, all-out sprints of work, followed by long periods of rest to recover. Totally different from his peers, but hey, you can't argue with the results.
Next up, we have a man whose name is pretty much synonymous with monopoly: John D. Rockefeller. Now, if Morgan's game was organizing industries, Rockefeller's was to completely own one: oil. His company, Standard Oil, became an absolute behemoth, unlike anything the world had ever seen.
The sheer scale of his dominance was just staggering. At its peak, Standard Oil controlled around 90% of America's oil. 90%. He did this through a relentless strategy of vertical integration, which just means he controlled everything, from the well, to the refinery, to the pipelines, all the way to the pump.
Now, as you can imagine, that level of control led to a massive backlash from the public and the government. They took him on, and it all culminated in a landmark Supreme Court case in 1911 that ordered the breakup of Standard Oil into 34 separate companies. Everyone thought that was the end of his dominance. But here's the twist. The breakup didn't diminish his fortune. It multiplied it. See, as those 34 smaller companies grew, so did the value of his shares in each of them, cementing his status as the wealthiest person in modern history. Talk about an unexpected outcome. His final chapter, though, might be the most transformative. After building this unbelievable empire, Rockefeller spent the last 4 decades of his life just giving it all away. He pioneered the whole concept of strategic philanthropy, creating foundations that have had a massive impact on science and health to this very day. Okay, for our final titan, let's head across the Atlantic to London to meet Nathan Rothschild. While Morgan and Rockefeller were building American empires, Rothschild was perfecting the art of international finance, turning his family firm into a truly global powerhouse. The Rothschild strategy was just genius. The family patriarch set up his 5 sons in 5 key European financial centers. Nathan's big breakthrough came when he financed the British Army's war against Napoleon. A huge risk, right? But it paid off enormously. By 1828, their firm's capital was 14 times larger than their nearest competitors. But their real secret weapon wasn't just capital, it was information. The Rothschilds built the fastest private courier network in Europe. Famously, their network delivered news of Napoleon's defeat at Waterloo to Nathan in London a full 48 hours before the government's own riders arrived. In a world with no instant communication, that's an almost unimaginable advantage. For the Rothschilds, information was the ultimate currency. So when you look at them side by side, you see 3 really distinct paths to power. You have Morgan, the great consolidator, who created order out of chaos. Then Rockefeller, the master of monopoly, who dominated an entire industry.
and Rothschild, the pioneer of the information network, who knew that knowledge was power. Each strategy completely reshaped the world.
These men also left behind philosophies that are just as powerful as their balance sheets. JP Morgan's take on human motivation here, it's a bit cynical, sure, but it shows you a guy who understood the hidden agendas that drive every business deal.
And Rockefeller's view was just as pragmatic. For him, professional respect and mutual interest were a way stronger foundation for a relationship than just personal feelings. Business always came first.
And these aren't just historical footnotes. This blend of ruthless ambition, strategic foresight, and clear-eyed pragmatism defined a whole new era of capitalism. And you can bet these mindsets continue to influence leaders in boardrooms all across the globe.
Ultimately, the stories of these architects, their strategies, their innovations, and their flaws, it's not just history. It's the blueprint of the financial system we all navigate today. Understanding them is key to understanding our own economic world.
To keep exploring the figures and forces that shape our financial world, be sure to visit banksandbankers.com. Thanks for watching.